If there is powder, they'll show up as little little black sort of streaks, little black humps in the barrels. And especially with the newer gun, you know, the barrels will be pretty much perfectly smooth anyway. They won't be pitted. If you've got an older gun, then over time you'll learn where the pits are, and you'll learn to distinguish, you know, is that a pit or is that a lump of powder? And then you can go back with the brush and scrub it until it's all gone. The other trick is to take the cleaning rod apart so that you just have the one section on here with the brush in, and get an electric drill and clamp it round, you know, one end of the rod, you know, obviously the opposite end to the brush, and on a fairly slow speed. You don't want it to go be whizzing round, because this way, you know, it's not designed to be spun around. But with a separate brush, I say separate one because if you use the same one, what will obviously happen is that all the bristles will be sort of turned a certain direction, and then they'll all end up being sort of brushed smaller. So when you go to scrub the next time, they won't be as big, and it won't be as effective at scrubbing the powder out of the bore, and you'll be there an awful long time trying to get it out. So have two brushes. Have an old one for using in the drill, and a newer, better one for scrubbing up and down. You'll know when it's time to change the brush, because the bristles will start falling out. You know, when you'll sort of be able to sort of they'll just fall out of the brush. And this is kind of getting there. It's almost at the end of it, and I'll have to get a new one at some stage. But once you've scrubbed all of the powder out, that will be the powder will be mixed with the solvent in the bore, and you want to get that out. So again, you go back to Jag with the patch or your kitchen paper, which works really well. Twizzle it around the brush, and obviously you want to put your finger on it to stop it doing that, stop it from unwinding. So wind it up, put your finger on there, and I like to put the solvent on in sort of a spiral like that. That kind of saves on cleaning fluid, because it means you get cleaning fluid from right at the bottom of the patch all the way to the top, and you're covering all of the patch. Now really kind of just go down, up, and that's that patch done for that barrel, and it will be clean on the other side. So all you do is unravel it, roll it back up again, and use the same patch for the other barrel, and do that until the patch comes out clean. And when it does, that's the barrel's finished. And the only thing you'll need to do now is, if you have multi-chokes, you'll need to clean them. And obviously your gun will probably, but I hope it would, have come with a choke key like this. And you'll need to remove the chokes. Oops. Remove the chokes from the gun. These happen to be a set of retrofit Briley chokes, which are quite nice. And the solvent will have kind of leaked around the inside, and it will be all in the thread. So with a rough, that is to say, quite a dirty cleaning cloth, just, you know, clean the threads up, clean the whole choke, and set it down. Do the same with the other. And for cleaning the you know, where the chokes screw in, you don't want to use that, because there's nothing actually stuck in that section of barrel at all. All that's in there is solvent and powder residue. So there's nothing actually stuck in there. All you need to do is get it out. Again, with your patch, wind it around the rod, and, you know, put your solvent on. And then this is somewhere. What I like to do is kind of push it in there and almost sort of screw it into the barrel, like as if you're screwing the choke in. That'll clean the threads inside here, and then push it down until you feel resistance. That'll be the step right at the end of the choke. I mean, if you push your finger in, you take the choke out your gun and push your finger in the ends of the barrels. Obviously, there's no cartridge in there because you'd be an idiot to do that. Push your finger in the ends of the barrels. You'll feel like a step, and that little step is where you'll get solvent accumulating. So push it down there until you feel that step, give it a few turns, and then pull it out. And then, as with the barrels, to save on patches, you can unravel the patch and then roll it back up the other way, so you've got a clean side, and then do the other barrel. Do that until they come out clean. And then with 2 or 3 dry pieces of kitchen paper, swab out the inside of the swab out the whole of the barrel, and then go back down to the end where the chokes are, and clean the solvent and the powder residue out of these. And then you're ready. Actually, you're not ready. And then what you want to do is, with the chokes, just get some oil. This is a Parker Hale Express gun oil, which is really nice actually. It doesn't actually smell of anything, obviously it just smells of guns, and it's a really nice thin, light lubricating oil, and it's really good. I use this on everything, rifles, shotguns, whatever. It's a really nice oil. And then with an oily rag, an oily clean rag, the more you clean your gun, ideally you want a cloth that smells of oil. No, I was actually just smelling it there. I wasn't actually wiping my face with it, so just so you know. You want a cloth that smells of oil, so it's impregnated with it. So when you touch it and rub your hands on it, and you take your hand, you rub your fingers together, your hands feel oily. That's what you really want. Is put a little bit of oil on the body of the choke, and then just what I like to do is put a few drips on the thread and sort of spread it round with your fingers, and then, sorry, I missed out a step. No, I didn't. Actually, no, you don't have to do this, but I like to, is to get the lamb's wool mop, and put that on the end of the barrels, sorry, the end of your cleaning rod. Obviously you'll work out that it's much easier if you only use the bottom section of the cleaning rod to clean the chokes, instead of having a metre of cleaning rod sticking out. You'll soon work that out. With a little bit of oil on the mop, just mop the inside of where the chokes screw into, and then take your choke and just stick it back in the barrels. Make sure, as I said in the Beretta review, really don't winch it up. Just kind of do it finger tight, so that when you go to take it out next time, you can actually take it out.